So in my last video, I talked about how I was focusing on nervous system regulation and trying to teach my body safety, which is still a big priority of mine, and it's still something that I'm learning and I'm doing my best to navigate as best as I can. It can be tricky sometimes because the body and the nervous system and stress and all of that isn't exactly straightforward. It's not really a you plug this in, you get this specific outcome type of situation. But over the past week, with much more ups and downs and a lot more emotions at play, I've been having some realizations about where my body is currently and where my nervous system is currently. And what I mean by that is just how bad are we talking here, you know? And the main thing that got me thinking about this more kind of critically is my sleep. Everybody knows that sleep is a really important aspect of our health. When it comes to manifestation too, having a good baseline is important because it influences your mindset, it influences your state of being, your feelings, how you operate in life, literally every aspect of our health. And when we are so viscerally exhausted, it's hard to even consider the future or manifesting in general. And since I had that breakdown, probably before as well, it's been a constant battle of recovering a little bit and then getting depleted again, and then recovering a little bit, becoming depleted again. And I talked about capacity and stuff in my last video. That's exactly what nervous system regulation aims to do, right? It's trying to increase your capacity to receive what you feel safe receiving. If you have a good regulated baseline, then you're going to be able to attract and sustain bigger things. I feel like we all know that at this point. This isn't advanced stuff. This is pretty much manifestation 101. But when I thought about my sleep, I realized that for a lot of my life, especially in the past 10 years, I'd say, I've never really felt rested. And it doesn't matter if I get 5 hours or 10 hours or anything in between. I'm tired when I wake up. I cannot remember the last time I woke up and I felt rested and refreshed. That's just not my experience. I know a lot of people feel this way as well, but I've tried all sorts, you know, I've had all sorts of tests done as well. I don't have sleep apnea, I don't have a thyroid issue. Physically, there's no condition that would explain why I'm having such trouble with my sleep. Some nights I will struggle to fall asleep for hours. Some nights I will wake up in the middle of the night for no reason and then struggle to fall asleep. Even the times where I have a good night's sleep, if I have a few nights in a row where I sleep 7, 8, 9 hours, there will come a time where I call it my sleep quota. My quota of how much my body allows me to sleep gets full. And the next night I will have an awful night's sleep. Either I won't sleep at all, or I'll just keep waking up every couple hours and my sleep will be so broken and disturbed. And I just end up feeling exhausted all the time. And I feel like I'm constantly in sleep debt. I feel like I can never catch up on sleep because the nights where I don't sleep at all, next night you would think, oh, I didn't sleep well, so I'm going to sleep much better the next night. But even if I am asleep, I still don't wake up feeling any better. That goes for the next few nights as well. And I was doing some research on this and found that this is probably because of having a very hyper-aroused, hyper-vigilant nervous system, whereby my body never really gets into deep restorative sleep, never really reaches that level. And so it stays in kind of the light stages of sleep the whole night, essentially. Even though I dream and everything like that, it's not really deep and restorative like it should be, which, as you can imagine, is frustrating. I do everything I can to make sure that I'm having good sleep hygiene and all of that stuff. My nervous system looks at all of this and is like, I don't care. And there are treatments for this sort of thing. There are things that you can do. CBT is an option. There is also medications you can take that can help with this sort of thing. Unfortunately though, a lot of those options are quite expensive and the funds are not looking the greatest right now. Waiting lists or trying to see anybody at all in the UK in the NHS is impossible right now. So what is the solution? What do I do? There are things that I'm going to do for my sleep. I'm going to try and change my evenings, make the winding down process a bit different, get into bed later so I'm not laying in bed struggling to sleep for ages. I'm going to try and wake up at the same time every day as well, because I've heard from watching sleep experts on podcasts and stuff that waking up is actually more crucial than when you're falling asleep. The time that you wake up is much more important than the time that you fall asleep, and having that be consistent is important for fixing your sleep. I'm going to try this and I'm going to see how it goes. I'm not expecting it to fix itself in a few days or even a few weeks. It will take longer than that. This is part of what I need to do for my nervous system, because if I'm depleted all the time, how can my nervous system recover? The burnout has been so intense that I just have to be slow and consistent with this. The other aspect of this is just in daily life, and as I go about my day, as I do things I need to do, dropping all kind of awareness of whatever my nervous system is doing at that point in time, and dropping the need to fix it and solve it or make it better through monitoring it or checking it, making sure that things are working. And this is very similar to the control thing when it comes to manifestation, right? It's a very similar thing. It's like you have to be very hands-off. You have to allow it to happen and not check and force and control. And the same goes for nervous system recovery. And then there's the bad moments. On nights where I can't sleep, or if I have a very emotional day, or if something happens or I get triggered by something, being as neutral as I possibly can about those situations is going to be very important as well. Because up until now, my instinct has been to try and fix it. I've always looked to, okay, how can I solve this? What can I do about it? How do I get through this? What are the steps I can take? That's always been my first instinct, is to try and fix. I think what my nervous system actually needs isn't to go into fix-it mode or problem-solving mode, even though it kind of feels counterintuitive a little bit. It's actually to just let those moments be neutral and to not make them noteworthy in any way. The more I'm focusing on these things, like I'm focusing on a bad night, or I'm focusing on something not happening or not working or not gaining progress, my nervous system takes note of that and is like, okay, that was significant. We need to remember that, and we need to stay hyper aroused, and we need to stay hyper vigilant for the future. And it just perpetuates this cycle. So that's kind of the plan. As far as manifestation techniques, I'm pretty much putting that completely to the side. I'm not even attempting to do any kind of manifestation work at the moment. Focusing on trying to get as much restorative rest as I possibly can, even if I can't get restorative sleep. Being gentle with myself through the day and getting restorative rest in other forms during the day is gonna be what puts me back on the road to recovery. Because trying to do it the way I've been doing it, it's not really getting me any closer to where I want to be. And I'm just getting more and more stressed out. It's pushing the things I want further and further away. I'm finding it increasingly more difficult to relax and to stay stable in the state of the wish fulfilled, because my body is just on fire. That's been my epiphanies for this week. I don't have any results this week, to be perfectly transparent. I don't have any updates to tell you. I mean, maybe this is the progress, I don't know. I'll know later on down the line. That's the approach that I'm gonna have to take, because I can't keep doing the same thing over and over again and expect different results. If you've dealt with this, if you've dealt with extreme burnout or extreme nervous system dysregulation, then leave me a comment below and let me know how you got over it, what you did that improved the way you feel. If you deal with hyperarousal with sleep as well, and you've struggled to get restorative sleep, let me know in the comments. Just tell me what you did to figure that out. My cat is behind the tree there. Thank you so much for watching. If you would like to see more, I have more videos on my channel explaining the other parts of this manifesting journey, everything from the start pretty much. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe for more, it really helps me out. And also check out my Etsy. I have some Christmas sales coming on my store. I do tarot readings over there if you didn't know. Check it out, have a little look. And if you made it this far, I'll give you a cheeky little discount. Use code regulation for 25% off from me to you. I will see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.